Okay, this is the read-along for Unit 3.01, New Materials and Technology. This is the unit introduction from realism to post-impressionism. The Industrial Revolution caused an astounding transformation of society and daily life in the 19th century Europe and the United States. Artists responded to the scientific advancements of the age in different ways. Some painters initially favored an almost photographic realism in their works. Others rebelled against modern technology by deliberately cultivating a more whimsical flair. Artists not only developed forward-looking styles, but also took advantage of new materials and mass production techniques to build structures that would have been impossible before the 1800s. So, we're moving into the Industrial Revolution, where we started building factories. We had things like steam power, electricity. All these big changes coming in with the Industrial Revolution caused an astounding transformation of society and daily life in Europe and the US. And the artists that were there at the time responded in different ways. Some of them, at first, favored an almost photographic realism in their works, meaning that they wanted their stuff to look really realistic, almost like a photograph. And others rebelled against modern technology by deliberately cultivating a more whimsical flair. So they said, you know what, we have cameras now that can take perfect photos, that can create a perfect representation of whatever they're taking a photo of. I don't need to try to be realistic anymore. I can start to be more abstract and expressive in the stuff that I create. And then we have the architects. So they started creating new styles, so modern looking styles of buildings, but they also had access to new material to make their buildings out of and new techniques that they could use to make buildings that would have been impossible before the 1800s. So we're in the 19th century, which is the 1800s. We are seeing a huge change in society due to this new technology that's come about. So we've got new materials and technology. The technological advances of the Industrial Revolution had a profound effect on art and architecture. The Industrial Revolution gave birth to an entirely new art form, photography. Some masters of the traditional paint and canvas medium embraced a new realism in their work based on the photographic model. Meanwhile, time-honored architectural styles gave way to new designs that accommodated the changing dynamics of the modern world. So we've got photography coming in and disrupting the world of painting. And some artists were okay with that. They would say, okay, I can take a photo and then I can create a painting from that photo, and I can make a really realistic painting that maybe I wouldn't have been able to make before. So right here we've got an example of an early type of photograph. This is a daguerreotype from 1837. It's called the Artist Studio. So these are objects found in an artist's studio. And you can imagine the artist taking this photo and then saying, I'm going to make a painting from this scene. So that's what they're talking about there. And here we have a photograph from 1851 of the Crystal Palace in London, which when they talk about buildings that could not have been made before the 1800s, this is what they're talking about. This is the new technology in building design, new advancements in architecture. These are the kind of buildings that get made. So this is very, very modern at the time, revolutionary. So today, if we saw something like that, we might not think too much of it, but it was a really big deal at the time.